Eagle down to Chip Roy, the Texas Republican congressman, with us to sort of weigh in on the importance of that submission. You know, when you say, Congressman, or when you hear from Mayorkas that the migrant release rate above 85%, which it is, while meeting privately with agents in Eagle Pass, that's virtually everyone.
Yeah, Neil, it's a real problem. And you know, we've been saying this for 3 or 4 years during the Biden tenure. And now at least there's a lot of eyes on this. And look, Tom Homan, he's a great American, former head of ICE under President Trump, good friend of mine, Mark Morgan, former head of Border Patrol. And the folks down there, they're doing their best with a tough situation. But Alejandro Mayorkas doesn't care. I mean, he's blaming it on Texas. He's going to the Supreme Court. They're challenging the governor, cutting razor wire. They want to now challenge our law that allows Texas to try to defend ourselves. 85%. Let's put that in context. 300,000 apprehensions in December. Do the math, right? We're talking about 250,000 releases in December. That's not counting the 50,000 or so rough gotaways that we would estimate we're getting on a monthly basis, which are the worst of the worst, by the way. And that is a major drain on our state and Texas. $12.5 billion we've had to spend out of our own money to do what the federal government is supposed to do. And it's long past due for us to do something about it. It's why I don't think we should be funding the government without getting change. I sure don't think we ought to be giving more money to Ukraine without forcing the change at the border we need to. It's the only tool we have, Neil. I mean, I'm not trying to rattle about shutdown for the sake of it, but the people I represent, they're like, good Lord, shut down the border or shut down the government until you wake up President Biden and Mayorkas to do their job.
What about impeaching Mayorkas? A lot of your colleagues want to do that. The sooner the better, but he seems to be staying there because his boss wants him to stay there.
Well, there's 2 or 3 things on that. Number one, I fully support it. I think I was the first to call for it. I put out a memo 3 years ago outlining the reasons why he should be impeached. We had a vote in the fall. 8 of our Republican colleagues didn't agree. They didn't think it was a high crime or misdemeanor. I disagree. I think it is a blatant violation of his duty, his oath. He's ignoring his duty under the Constitution to secure our border and follow the laws to make sure that they're faithfully executed. I think it's totally impeachable. But keep in mind, he had a meeting, I think it was yesterday. One of my colleagues said that he kind of scoffed. He said, if you guys impeach me, good luck with what you're going to get behind me. Basically saying that Biden would appoint somebody as radical and as crazy or even worse than he is. And I think that's the reality we got to remember. Our key tool here is the power of the purse. I'm for impeaching him. I'm glad that Mark Green's going to have a hearing tomorrow with Mayorkas. I think we'll proceed with it. I'm for it. But let's be clear. If you don't use the power of the purse, you're not going to check an administration that doesn't care about the rule of law.
Real quickly, Congressman, while I have you, you have more than survived the wrath of Donald Trump. I mean, maybe because you stand on these issues like you just stated. You're for Ron DeSantis. He's had a devil of a time in Iowa. Are you worried for him that if he doesn't do well here, it's all over?
No, look, I mean, Governor DeSantis, I was just meeting with some folks here in Southeast Iowa. The rooms have been packed. There's a lot of energy and enthusiasm. They want a new vision, somebody who can carry us forward, who can serve for 8 years, somebody who's delivered for the people of Florida, who won by 1.5 million votes, who won 62% of Hispanic voters, 50% of single female voters. He's a guy that gets it done. He challenged Disney. He challenged the education establishment. He took on the teachers unions. He flipped Miami-Dade. He's doing all the things you want in a president. And when the people of Iowa hear that and see that, man, they are excited. I'm on the road right now with Casey because the governor's back in Florida for the state of the state tomorrow. He'll be back here in Iowa. I'll come back this weekend after I go to Washington to try to box some ears on the bad spending deal. But look, I'm optimistic. I think we're in surge mode. We're going up. I think President Trump is going down, and Nikki Haley is definitely cratering after she dismissed Iowans, saying to New Hampshire that they have to correct Iowans. So Governor DeSantis is heading in the right direction, and I think he'll do well.
Congressman, we'll watch closely. Thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.